What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Here we are with another reaction video, and in this one we have the Australian high school experience by the prophet himself, Yorak. Love getting the chance to react to his videos. I'm very intrigued to see the Australian high school experience. Before we dive in, if you happen to enjoy, please don't forget to subscribe, get a video a thumbs up so it gets suggested. Check out this next video. Let's see what we got.
School. 6 crap hours of our life. There's nothing like a good lesson. Or is there? You see, school is a very important part of everyone's life. You get to learn important things like Pythagoras' theorem, E equals MC squared.
I absolutely love that because I freaking love that show. I'm trying to remember. I've reacted to it on YouTube, my comedy channel. Y'all gotta check it out, but I can't remember the name of it. For some reason,
theorem. E equals MC
it's escaping
squared,
me.
The square
It's
root of
escaping
69,
me.
and other extremely important things like subtraction. All while skipping out on the important life lessons such as how to claim your PlayStation as a tax-deductible item. But you see,
gotta learn that.
All
Gotta
about
learn
addition
that.
and hexagons. So in today's video, we'll be forgetting about Year 9 chemistry and how to divide pi, and instead we'll be focusing on the most important aspects of the Australian high school experience that no teacher besides yours truly would ever be able to teach you. So sit down, shut up, open your book to page 69, and if you speak over me, I'm gonna give you a backhander. Anyway, that's enough waffle, let's get into our first lesson of the day. Now this first one is unofficially part of every Australian high school's curriculum, and that of course is the fan. Now while any fan will do,
God
more
dang!
at the ceiling fan. You see, these fans are put into the classrooms to keep them cool during the 40-degree summer days. But did you know that if you crank them up to max speed, they also double as a particle accelerator?
Oh my!
Now back in my high school days,
they also double as a particle accelerator. Is absolutely crazy. That is there air conditioning in the Australian high schools? Because these fans, it feels like when I was in school, I got really cold because they kept the AC booming. And it was cold. I have to bring a jacket every time. Is it just fans or is there air conditioning too? Talk to me.
the fan was one of my specialties, and my signature move was to throw a tissue box into the blades and let it explode all over the classroom.
Oh my god!
But you see, a tissue box isn't the only thing that can be turned into a projectile thanks to the roof-mounted particle accelerator. Some other things commonly tossed into the fan by me and my fellow classmates include pencil cases, workbooks, someone's lunch, fruit, water bottles, calculators, you name it. I even once tossed a dare-iced mocha with a slightly cracked lid straight at the fan, resulting in a light crop dusting of brown sticky liquid all over the whiteboard. Now I could waffle on all day about the ceiling fan particle accelerator. I even remember throwing a bike helmet into it once.
Oh my god!
It's time to move on to our next important lesson.
Before we move on to the next important lesson, I got to know, y'all got to hit me in the comment section. Have you ever thrown anything into that ceiling fan, into that particle accelerator? He talks about all these things he's thrown in there. Comment down below if you ever thrown anything into that fan that I guess was going at super speed.
In the Australian high school experience, and that of course is shoplifting. But before we get into that, I'm going to have to ask you to press that subscribe button, and if you don't, I'm going to come to your house and take all of the copper plumbing out of your walls and cash it in at the scrapyard. Anyway, every class that you take in high school will have a little bit of homework to it, and shoplifting is no different. You see, on the way to or from school, it's an Australian rite of passage to learn how to shoplift from the local supermarket.
Oh my god.
This is no easy lesson, because if you get caught, you're in big trouble. Now some of you may not know that there's a whole lot of homework involved in the art of shoplifting. First, you have to find and memorize all the blind spots at your local Coles or Woolworths, and then master the art of acting nonchalant with 4 kilos of chocolate down your pants. Now obviously I'm not not encouraging this behaviour because it's illegal. But this guy right here that I found on Google Images sure is. So if you don't put in the proper homework and get caught, just remember, I didn't tell you to do it, this guy did. This next one is a huge part of the...
Okay, so shoplifting in an Australian high school experience is a rite of passage. But you just can't go in there willy-nilly. No, you got to do your research. You got to learn because you can't get caught. That's the number one rule of shoplifting, obviously. Do not get caught. And so you got to do your research, but it's a rite of passage. So you got to learn how to do it, I guess. It's part of the high school curriculum.
The modern day Australian high school experience, and that of course is vaping. Now I personally don't smoke or vape because I don't see the appeal in paying a $50 a week subscription
for
lung cancer. But in the recent years, the technique to giving yourself lung cancer has switched from analog to digital, and this new digital form of lung cancer comes with a lot more stealthy features, those being a quickly vanishing vapor cloud and a far less noticeable smell. And these two features in particular make it perfect for the classroom.
Oh my god!
If you get caught vaping in the
leap from 13 to 30 is an insane leap.
Classroom, you get in a lot of trouble.
Yeah.
But luckily, all schools all across Australia have a dedicated vape room. It looks just like this.
Of course.
Now the Australian school system quickly cottoned on to this, and many schools decided to install vape detectors in the toilets.
Oh wow!
See, school is a place of learning, and most students quickly learnt that if you just vape outside of the toilets, you won't get caught. Now this next one is quite possibly one of the most important parts of the Australian high school experience, and that of course is the substitute teacher. There's no better feeling than walking into a class knowing full well that you've got 5 overdue homework assignments that you still haven't even started, all of which are due today, only to be greeted with the sight of some poor bastard wearing a visitor's lanyard. Now this situation is basically a get out of jail free card. You're not going to get in trouble for all the homework that you haven't done, and for the next hour or so you could basically get away with murder. Having a substitute teacher is basically just a license to fuck around. Now, fucking around is of course a major part of the Australian high school experience in itself.
Oh my god. I think everybody must be a substitute teacher. I think it is a high school. I mean, you learn to do that in middle school. Actually, not even high school. You learn that in middle school. And not saying that you should. These substitute teachers be going through a lot and be getting paid a very little amount to be going through all the torture that they got to go through when they walk inside of a classroom. But yeah, it is. I mean, as a high school student, it's just a part of the high school experience.
Should know the best fucking around is done with a substitute teacher. Some of my personal favourite techniques of fucking around included piffing stuff across the classroom.
Oh my god!
Tossing at the fan, playing stupid noises like this out of the computer. Bonus points if you put on a pair of headphones, but then don't plug the headphone jack in all the way, so there's no way that it could be you.
I love sex!
And a personal favourite of mine is either tipping over someone's desk or chair with them still in it, and then acting like it wasn't me. Now the byproduct of these shenanigans is usually one of 3 things. The first of which being your teacher losing their temper. Now when a high school teacher in Australia loses their temper, they like to repeat the same few one-liners to the class in the hope that it persuades the group of 25 15-year-olds who don't want to be there anyway to improve their behaviour. Now I'm assuming most of the people watching this video have been to high school in Australia and should know these one-liners off by heart. But for those of you who dropped out at the end of Year 6 to pursue a career making drug money, pretending to be a traffic light, these one-liners are things such as, my Year 7 class behaves better than you lot. Do you want to stay back after school? I'm here till 6 anyway. Yeah. That's alright, I'll wait. And my personal favourite, right, you out. And when this obviously doesn't...
I mean, this ain't just Australia. I feel like a lot of this stuff just ain't the Australian high school experience. It's the experience around the world probably for high schoolers. I know in America, a lot of this stuff that he's talking about, I can relate to as a high school experience. I was more of a good kid, didn't really do nothing to get into trouble. I tried to follow the rules, be as good as possible. But I was in classroom with kids who didn't have the same priorities or agenda as me, who did do a lot of this stuff that he talked about, and I heard the substitute teachers say all of those things to those kids.
Work, they move on to the second level of punishments. These include things such as making you walk around with them, picking up rubbish off the floor during lunchtime, or making you stay back during lunchtime or after school and have a chat with them. But let's just say you got in trouble for doing something a little bit naughtier, such as sending your entire year level an email with a picture of a horse with 5 legs. Now, in my final year of high school, I got caught doing this very thing. You see, me and a group of friends have been sending these emails almost monthly for the past 5 years. So when they finally caught me red-handed, they weren't going to let me off easy. And this was the reason for one of the many Saturday detentions that I received in my high school career. That brings us nicely into our third type of punishment. The detention. Now, I'm sure all schools do detentions a little bit differently, but at my school, the main ones were Friday and Saturday detentions. Now, the Friday detention wasn't really that bad. All it meant was that you had to stay back after school for an extra hour on a Friday in a classroom full of like-minded degenerates. But the Saturday detention was a real punishment. Not for us students, the teachers. You see, these bastards had to come in for 2 hours on a Saturday morning and babysit a classroom packed to the brim with future criminals.
That is absolutely true, dog. Yeah. As a teacher, I'd be like, yeah, you're punishing me more than you're punishing these students. I got to get up. I'm with these kids Monday through Friday. All day I am surrounded with these kids. The only peace that I have is looking forward to the weekends. Is looking forward to Saturday and Sunday when I do not have to be around them. That is the only thing that keeps me going. And now, you want me to wake up Saturday morning and do detention with these kids? You're punishing me.
And pretty much every Saturday detention that I had to sit through was nothing but an absolute laugh. Anyway, before we move on to the final and most important part of the Australian high school experience, we've got to get through a few honourable mentions. Some of the other greatest parts of the Australian high school experience include fights, lunchtime, the canteen, PE classes before they start involving maths into it, getting the day off because it's too hot, learning from home during COVID, aka log in at 9 o'clock and then go back to bed. And of course, finding ways to download games onto the school computer. Alright, now with those honourable mentions out of the way, it's time to get into the most important part of the Australian high school experience. And that, of course, is Muck-up Day. For those of you who don't know, Muck-up Day is the final day of Year 12 where everyone bands together to cause absolute carnage. Now, there's so many different things that you can do for Muck-up Day, but due to the fact that it's almost been a month since my last upload, and I'm trying to keep this video under 10 minutes because they take too long to edit, I've saved time by just putting this little slideshow on the screen that you're watching now. But anyway, the real fun with Muck-up Day is that if you didn't end up on the news, you didn't go hard enough. And year after year, schools try and stop students from doing Muck-up Day, but that's just never gonna happen. And on that note,
crazy.
It's time to end. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like, subscribe, comment, and share if you'd like to hear more teachings from the prophet of Yorak Hunt. And if you enjoyed this video so much that you watched it all the way till the end, make sure to comment
only a spoonful
to let me know.
I may as well round it up. Yes, I need to know. I don't want to know, guys. I need to know. Did you, when you were in high school, did you make it on the news for Muck-up Day? Did your class make it on the news for Muck-up Day? I've got to know. I've got to know. If you did happen to make it on the news for Muck-up Day, what was it for? I need stories. I need details. Get in that comment section. Talk to me. A lot of these things that he talked about in the high school experience are experienced at a lot of high schools around the world, not just in Australia. But Muck-up Day, we didn't have Muck-up Day at my high school. It was like senior prank day or whatever. And in America, there's been absolutely insane pranks pulled, but my class did not pull one. So I want to know if yours pulled a prank, Muck-up Day, what y'all do? Did you make the news? That's all we got. And if you enjoyed that, please don't forget to subscribe. Give the video a thumbs up. Check out that next one. See you guys next time.